What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live, and there's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcomed back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show on Facebook and Twitter. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now, we are joined in G+ by 10th Man, Paul Hall, Chocolate Sane, Arwin, The One, who else did I miss? Ranty Flat Earth. Did I get everybody in G+?
I think so.
Yeah. We're also joined by a whole bunch of people in Discord. Welcome, one and all. Hello, Nathan. Yeah, good to have you all. So enthusiastic.
Hooray!
Bit of housekeeping, we'll sort that out. Right. Fundies at the ready. You all ready?
Yay, Nathan!
Yay! Any signs of Earth curvature?
No,
Not from Lakewood.
Not from Lakewood?
Nope.
Where's Lakewood?
Next to Long Beach, Southern California.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Earth curve? The whole premise of this debate is about Earth being curved. Anybody? Anybody at all?
No, Earth's not curved. I'm sorry. It's flat.
Searching to see if there's like people not on server mute. Oh, there we go. There's one. Who was that? It runs with scissors. Earth curve. Any signs of it? Anybody? Anybody at all? No? Any signs of axial rotation of the Earth-based variety?
Well, there is no reason to presuppose that you're on something that is spinning.
That's correct. Good answer. I'll move on. Any scientific evidence of gravity?
Why do we have to call relative density gravity?
They don't. They call relative density disequilibrium gravity. They don't
Yeah.
just say there's relative density, the mic is in equilibrium. They pick up the mic, force it out of equilibrium, drop it, and then attribute that to this downward fundy force called gravity, which there is no scientific evidence for. So it's the disequilibrium that they attribute this downward force to. You got something to add, Mel?
Hi, Nathan. Good on you, mate.
Good day. Any single viable hypothesis in the entire histories of astronomy, astrophysics, or cosmology?
Well, note by Daniel Faulkner, PhD astronomer, who claimed that he can refute any flat Earth claim and said to people to not look at YouTube videos for information. And when he was asked about how do you have gas pressure without a container, he pointed to a YouTube video of a redneck retard called Two Billy Blue Balls, who is using two containers to demonstrate gas pressure without a container.
Yes, very foolish to declare that people who assert they can't debunk flat Earth claims just simply haven't gone to the right sources. They've just gone to the internet, only to, as you rightly point out, the one. Google search it and cite a redneck retard. Shout out to Alexander, who says, heliocentrum is the biggest religion on flat Earth. Couldn't agree more. Totally and utterly faith-based is heliocentrism. We do not live on a model. Any evidence of the distance to the sun?
We don't know what the sun is. either we need distance to it so we can figure out its size, or either we'll need its size to figure out the distance, but we don't know any of those.
Any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth?
And then when they entered through the wardrobe and they saw Aslan with this molten iron core in his hand.
That's more akin to any evidence of gas pressure without a container.
Yeah.
Is there any evidence that you can have gas pressure without the necessary antecedent of a container to press upon?
Well, we've all seen what happens when the container is broken. All the words out of Rumpus's mouth start, exploding. So we need a container for that gas.
Right.
Shout out to Rumpus. Mr. Air is not the atmosphere.
Atmo, air, sphere, Fundy presupposition. Last but by no means least, any evidence of the presupposition itself? The R value, Earth radius. No?
The only thing we can do about the R value is to have a moment of silence for it.
Oh, I can do one better than that. I'll do a little blessing. Radius Dominus, Gravitas Spiritus Sanctus, may the not actual force of gravity be with you. Go in peace, in R you trust. Ah, win.
We are winning.
We are winning. We are winning with that prayer.
Our win is ace.
He is ace, but it seemed something that Arwin brought up in the last show ended up with Elijah getting caught in the crossfire and getting triggered, ad homing QE, and then being told to piss off.
Yeah, no need to add home QE. QE is ace as well. We may not agree, but QE is still ace.
Yeah, Arwin is ace, but still, Arwin being ace has caused somebody else to get caught in the crossfire. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to say it's not his own fault if he's been calling QE a clown in the comments section, but there we go. It's just one of those. He was on Arwin's coattails in regards to not observing wave function collapse. Personally observing, I should say. Not that it doesn't exist, but the personal observation of wave function collapse was something that Arwin brought up, and that guy was explaining that the people who had suggested someone go out and produce a video of it, has anybody actually gone out and followed their instructions? And the response from QE, I'm really there. The response from QE is to contact your local university and ask them if they're performing that experiment. And if they are, can you go and observe wave function collapse? We also got into there is a potential that you could go out to Woolworths and buy yourself some slit detectors. And Bob's your uncle, you can do it yourself.
And I think a few people didn't understood that we're not talking about the delayed choice, but the actual double slit with the detectors. So they got a bit confused between those two.
Yeah, we're not suggesting people insert this causally disconnected choice. that's beyond a lot of universities' capabilities, I would imagine. Or expensive at the least.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Anon, good to have you.
Hello, boys.
I think that's it for housekeeping.
Trigger warning, trigger warning.
Paul, you sounded like an actual alarm.
You got any results from your Triggered Earther of the Year award, Ranty?
Bloody hell, yes it did.
Bloody hell, it was close call. Oh dear. I asked him because
Why
I
is
thought
everyone so silent?
I heard him come off mute. Did I imagine that?
That was me.
No, I wasn't pretending for 1 second your impression was anything like Ranty. I thought I genuinely heard him come off mute.
Oh, I thought.
Credit was not due there, but you take it if you want it.
So 1.2 out of 10 still?
Yeah, still definitely closer to Australian, which I slipped into after. Because that's how powerful the Australian was in your impression.
So are you saying 1.2 out of 10 still?
Yeah, definitely. You got bloody hell in there, though. That's deserving of another point, so 2.5.
Thank you.
Any other? Oh dear. Bloody hell. What else has Ranty got as catchphrases? Right, no one's biting. Right, let's think. Right, people in the G Plus panel, let's think of ways of triggering the fundies.
Let's talk about their edge a little bit more. That seemed to bring them out a little bit the other day. The edge they reify. The one they keep asking us about. We don't have an edge, but apparently they do in their model. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. I've had a few comments saying, no, by your logical inference, you've got to have an edge of the dome, just like Highlander said. It's like, yeah, just like Highlander said. I love those commenters. Shout out to all those people leaving those comments thinking they're being clever. You infer there's an edge, there must be. Yeah, well done, Fundy. Share your pain.
Hey, Globy, come and show us your space-time bending. Show me how many time you have in a cubic meter of space. Or how big is a cubic hour, maybe.
Cubic hour? About that big.
Brenda Rumpus.
Also, please come and show us how the quote unquote force of down affects a helium balloon.
Actually charged by the cubic hour.
Cubic hour.
Well played.
Didn't work. Right, let's try something else.
Take them off mute one by one.
They're just checked. They're all off mute. Everyone's off mute.
Start spouting bullshit, you retards.
That's not going to work. You've got to be gentle with them. You've got to coax them.
Here, kitty.
Yeah, funny.
So, Earth curve's just perspective. They've just removed perspective by using the feet and inches or meters value of an object they're observing in the distance. And by using feet and inches or meters, it means that object's size doesn't change as it increases its distance. It will always be a 10-foot wall, regardless of if it's 1,000,000 miles away, way beyond the angular resolution of any telescope, or a foot away. It's still just going to be classified in their side-on reification of their globe Earth model as an object that doesn't change in angular size as it gets further away. And in reality, anything you see in the distance will get smaller as it gets further away. That's called angular size, a not actual representation of its actual size, because it isn't. It is dependent on its distance. Now, if you ignore... Oh, God, is that someone triggered? Has it worked? Who's that? Go ahead.
No, that was my cat.
Oh, it's just a cat. False alarm. So as things get smaller in the distance, they claim this not actual location, called the edge of their sphere reification, obscures that whole size number boat or building, as they simultaneously ignore the fact that it's getting smaller with distance as it reaches and breaches the diffraction limit, the horizon. So, given that they've just excluded all aspects of perspective, it does make me wonder why anyone would ever believe these fundies who tell them boats are going over an edge. Like, take us to your edge, fundies. Your edge that excludes all aspects of perspective, you're going to have trouble telling me why you're not getting there. Oh, what's that? It moves with perspective. Oh, yeah. That's interesting. Why isn't that factored into your maths with things that don't change with their distance? Oh, it's because you've just taken the effect of perspective and called it Earth curve, have you? That's fascinating. Yeah, perspective's real. Earth curve isn't. Nice that it slips into your model the way it does by hijacking perspective. Still no takers?
Well, thank God I had a good arts teacher back in school, because she taught us everything about perspective. That's why I didn't have any problems coming to Flat Earth 5 years ago.
It's funny though, because there are a couple of times I've heard ballers say that perspective is something that flat earthers made up. Like it's not a real thing.
What?
Yeah, bro.
6th and 7th grade.
I've actually heard that, yes.
And 7th grade.
Is it Jesse Kozowski that's the geodetic surveyor?
Yeah.
Jesse Kozowski once did a video that was showing his measurement of another lantern, or whatever they call them, across a shore, about a couple of 100 feet. And as he gets further away from it, it drops towards the horizon. And that's basically his point. He's talking about horizon drop. Anyway, Jeranism gets hold of the video and re-edits it. And then as he's giving his description and saying, look, I've got further away, it's got closer to the horizon, that's caused by cut to Jeran going, perspective! It's quite, I remember it really distinctly. It was very comical.
Yeah, that Jesse Kozlowski, he's a real clown, man. I exposed him long time ago. I don't think he was out here more than a couple weeks when I caught him under one of his videos. It was really bad for him.
Oh, you exposed a geodetic surveyor. Good job, Quantum Racer.
Yeah, like I exposed you fundy materialist.
How did you feel
I'm all
JLB got
mood.
on? Hold on. How do you think JLB got on with your argument there, Tim?
My argument, that's just visual empirical evidence of the Earth being...
Visual empirical evidence. This cloud still thinks counterclockwise. He's just like JLB. He thinks counterclockwise and clockwise are directions, don't you, Timmy?
So if you're looking south in the southern hemisphere, the stars are going to rotate as far as looking due south clockwise. And then when you're in the northern hemisphere, looking at the stars as far as Polaris and the stars around it, it's actually going to go counterclockwise. Do you disagree with that?
Are they
I would just say,
directions?
look, so it appears to do that then. Just when you look at it, they're not actually moving in
No.
different directions.
Hold
then,
on,
right,
Chocolate.
Timmy?
Is counterclockwise and clockwise directions?
Do these stars, that was the question. If you listen carefully, Quantum,
Directions.
if you can,
Are they directions?
if you can very quickly actually listen to the question, do they actually?
I'm asking you a question. Or is
I'm asking-
counterclockwise and clockwise directions?
I didn't say that. I said, do the stars actually do that?
They all move, save for Polaris clown show, from east
You're being
to
a
west.
Joker, dude.
Those
You can
are
laugh on the ground.
directions, not counterclockwise and clockwise. Those
They
are
don't
based
do that.
on your position.
They don't do that. They don't rotate counterclockwise or clockwise, depending on
Yeah,
how
they
you're...
do.
Oh, okay, thanks. Thank you so much.
What? Then it doesn't prove anything because they're not directions, you friggin' moron.
Timmy, depending on how you're looking at them. I heard you about to say that, right? Depending on what?
He's already given it in his qualification. He said
If
when
you're
looking south
in
and
the
when looking
northern
north.
hemisphere. If you're in the northern hemisphere,
Hemisphere.
you're looking due north. You're going to see the Polaris and all the circumpolar stars around it going counterclockwise. If you're in the southern hemisphere and you're looking at Sigma
You're
10,
just repeating the same thing again. Are they
Because
moving in
it's true.
different directions?
because it's true.
Are they
It's true.
moving in different directions? South versus north, Timmy.
Are they moving counterclockwise or clockwise?
Are they moving in different directions?
Can you answer a question or no?
Are they? I'm asking you a question, Timmy Clown. Are they moving in different directions?
Does the Polaris rise?
Are they moving in different directions?
Are they appearing to go counterclockwise and
Not
clockwise?
appearing. Are the stars south versus north moving in different directions? Like this, Timmy. Let's say I'm standing on the equator line, right? The equator, I have it split. My right leg is in the north section. My left leg is in the south section. It's at night. I'm going to all of a sudden look up in the sky, and on my right, I'm going to see the stars coming towards me, and on my left, they're going away from me.
That's just about as silly as saying
That's
that
right, you
have a
clown. That's right. They're not moving in different directions. They're moving in the same direction, save for Polaris. Thank you very much.
You've already admitted that they go counterclockwise and clockwise depending on if you're looking at them. Right?
Counterclockwise and clockwise aren't directions for the 10th time.
You said that they were directions. Did you?
I didn't say they were directions.
Do they go counterclockwise or clockwise?
They're not direction. Yes, but they're counterclockwise and clockwise aren't directions.
So much. Thank you.
You fucking
Thank
clown.
You so much.
So this clown, what he
right
thinks
back.
is my scenario.
Thank you so much.
Timmy Clown.
Thank you, Quantum.
Timmy
Thank you. I'll
Clown,
be
my
right back.
scenario. Shut your pie hole. Where is this clown? Shut up. What he thinks is he can go to the equator, straddle the equator at night, look to his right to the north, or just look straight, and all the stars in the north are going towards him or coming towards him. But when he looks to the left, they're moving away from him. That's what he thinks. Essentially.
That was Polaris rise in the east and set in the west. I'm just wondering.
I already said save for Polaris, dumbass. Open your ears.
Does Polaris rise in the east and set in the west?
I already said save for Polaris, dumbass.
Does it or not?
What the fuck?
Does it rise in the east and set in the west?
How many times did I say save for Polaris? Do you know what save for means?
Does Polaris rise in the east and set in the west?
Oh my god.
Save for means with the exception of.
The other day.
Save for means with the exception of.
So Polaris
say
and
it
all
to
the
him
circumpolar
again?
stars very close to it do rise in the east and set in
Can
the
you
west.
save
I'm just
it?
wondering.
Can you tell him again, Nathan? I don't think he heard you.
Save for means with the exception of.
You understand that, Timmy?
So the circumpolar stars just right about around Polaris and Sigma Octans do set in the east and set, or rise in the east and set in the west. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. But I would have thought you appreciated that, given that. Hold on.
Come on, Quantum. You're a pro at this, dude. You know all about the stars. Do they set in the east, rise in the east and set in the west?
That's correct. But you presumably realised that anyway, because in your example, you explained that you have to look north, in your example, and then turn around to get them to go the other way. Meaningless, given that you've just turned around. But yes, they all rise in the east and set in the west, save for Polaris, which means with the exception of.
Okay, great. So you guys think that the circumpolar stars just around Polaris rise in the east and set in the west. Is that what you're saying?
Sorry, how many times has it got to be repeated? They're all going in the same direction. That's correct.
Okay, they rise in the east off the horizon, right? And set in the west. Is that what you're saying?
They move from east to west, Timmy Clown. You knucklehead.
Sorry, did you
As a
paraphrase
second
me?
grader can reconcile this.
He's just
they
paraphrased.
move from east to west. Are there any stars that move from west to east, Timmy Clown?
Yeah, paraphrased.
That's not the point.
No, not from the horizon.
That is the point.
Hold on. No, not from the horizon. No one said that. No one said they come from the horizon.
What does rise and set mean? What does that mean? Does that mean that they don't go to the horizon when something rises and sets?
Some things don't start at the horizon. That's correct.
Okay, so you're saying that if you're, let's just say in UK or you're in North Dakota, you're saying that the Polaris and all the stars around it actually rise to the east and set in the west. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, you
that's-
little
yes.
friggin' weasel, you.
That's the direction of travel.
They move from east to west, Timmy. East to west. All of them. Sun, moon, stars, save for Polaris, move from
Yeah, that's how the
east
globe model is.
to
Thank
west.
you for exemplifying the globe model.
From
That's exactly
east to west, Timmy. Do you
Right.
understand that?
Why are we talking
Are
about
there any
models?
stars that
Model?
move from west to east, Timmy Clown?
Why are we talking about models? We don't live on a model. Who cares what a model does?
I do, because it actually exemplifies what's happening in our reality.
No, that's called the
Right.
reification fallacy. Do you not know what a reification
Okay, well,
fallacy
you guys
is?
don't have a reification for your flat Earth pipe dream.
Hey, that's called a total obfuscation. So, no, suggesting that a model represents what happens in reality is, by definition, the fallacy of misplaced concretedness, otherwise known as a reification fallacy, turning that which is not concrete into something concrete, i.e. reality. Your model is not reality. Now, you are guilty of a reification fallacy, Timmy. You don't have to like that.
He's talking
I
through you.
wasn't. No, I wasn't. Actually, you were. But
He's
I need
talking
to get
through
some
you.
done, guys, 'cause I'm
Shut
Jacob,
up.
one of them.
Shut
I'll
up.
be back.
Hey, where's your model? Where's your model at, Timmy?
Check Stellarium. It actually works. depending on the
Stellarium's your model?
A couple of questions.
Stellarium's
Hold
your
on, hold on.
heliocentric
No, he's
model.
giving an answer. Can you not rumpus him? Hold on. Hold on, QE. Hold on. Stellarium, you say? So is the ground beneath my feet in this model? I repeat my question. Is the ground beneath my feet in Stellarium? Been here before, haven't we, Tim?
Over.
Come off moot.
Share your
Come
pain.
off moot,
Share
Timmy
your
Clown.
pain. Share your pain. The question's the same as last time.
Sorry, I
And
feel
also-
uncomfortable talking to Nathan without pants on. So I had pants on here in a moment. What were you saying? I'm sorry, I was gone.
Is the ground beneath my
Yeah.
feet in Stellarium?
You kind of cut out. You said ground in Stellarium. Sorry, Nate. What did you say?
No worries. Is the ground that is beneath my feet in Stellarium?
You kind of say like, "What is the ground?" I'm sorry. What's the beginning?
That's all right. I can say it 20 more times if you like. Is the ground beneath my feet in Stellarium?
Is the ground beneath your feet in Stellarium? It's a virtual ground, I suppose. Yeah.
So the ground I'm standing on is in this program. No, it's not. That's called a reification fallacy. You imagining that something that is not concrete, in this case a model, is my actual ground beneath my feet. It isn't. That's called the fallacy of misplaced concretedness. Turning something which is not concrete, in this instance a model, into something real. It's not real. The ground beneath my feet is not in Stellarium, Timmy. You slow? You're not getting this? Reification, mate.
Are you guys able to reify the flat Earth at all?
Sorry, you have reified Stellarium, fuckwit. You going to address this or just ask new questions and ignore the fact that you're guilty of a fallacy? Reification, the fallacy of misplaced concretedness. The ground beneath my feet is not in this model called Stellarium. You assume that is the ground beneath my feet. Wrong! A reification. You're guilty of it. Are you going to concede? No humility? No balls? Not a man? You're not a man? Can't admit when you're wrong? What's wrong with you?
That's called a straw man, actually, because
No, it's called a reification fallacy. You have got no balls. You're not a real man.
so you're actually straw manning me. Is that
You are not a man. You are guilty of a reification fallacy detailed on multiple occasions. You have turned this model, called Stellarium, into the ground beneath my feet, which it is not. You are guilty of the fallacy of misplaced concretedness. You are guilty. Now, if you can't concede this, it means you have no balls and are not a man.
Hey, babe, am I a man?
No, you've got no balls. You're a pathetic weasel. You're a weasel, not a man, a weasel. A weasel would have an ounce of humility, admit when they're wrong, and say, yeah, I've turned stellarium into the ground beneath your feet when it's not. That's called a reification fallacy, something you're guilty of and cannot admit because you're not a man. You've got no balls.
My girlfriend just said I did, but you guys can't reify your flat earth pipe.
You keep talking about what I keep reifying, you fucktard. You've reified stellarium into the ground beneath my feet. You've done that, not me. Now you can try and obfuscate away from it, you little weasel. That's why I'm saying you've got no balls. You're a weasel.
Flat earther, he wants to talk to you. He thinks there's a dome.
Onto domes now, rather than talking about your reified model called stellarium that isn't the ground beneath my feet. How long will you flap, Fundy? No balls.
So Quantum Racer, here's my girlfriend.
No balls. No, Nathan Oakley, the guy telling you got no balls. You're not a man. You're going to address the fact that you can't address your guilt in regards to your fallacy of misplaced concretedness. When are you going to address it, you little weasel?
Go ahead, Quantum, my girlfriend.
No, Nathan, not Quantum, you little weasel. You're guilty of a fallacy. It's been detailed and explained. Either you're too stupid, thick, can't understand simple English, or you're just a snivelling little weasel with no balls. Which is it? Thick or weasel, Tim? Should we take a vote?
Sorry, I got my girlfriend.
Should we take a vote from the chat? Who thinks he's a snivelling weasel and just has no humility? Number one. Who thinks he's just stupid and doesn't understand something that's been played 6 times to him?
I vote
weasel.
Oh, sorry, she's from the Philippines?
Nobody gives a shit about your pretend blow-up girlfriend. We're talking about the fallacy you've used.
Okay, you strawman me into your own fallacies. So.
No. You used the reification fallacy when you said stellarium was the ground beneath my feet. No, it isn't. That's a reification fallacy. You're guilty of it. You've got no humility. You can't ever admit that you've used a reification fallacy, even though it's been detailed to you. That leaves me with only 2 conclusions. 1, you're too stupid to understand. 2, you're just a snivelling, no-balled weasel.
Yeah, I never said that the stellarium is to the ground, but nice strawman, though. Thank you,
You
though.
didn't, so it's just
Anyway,
the model then.
guys,
So if it's not the ground beneath my feet, so if it's
guys
not
have so many good
reality, so if it's not the ground beneath my feet, what fucking use is it? It's not reality, dickhead. Who cares? It's just a model. Yeah.
You guys have so many good arguments.
Sorry, you're not going to respond to that either. The little snivelling weasel move from Tim Osland, the no-balled weasel. Yeah. So what use is it then if it's not the ground beneath my feet and not reality, Tim?
It actually portrays exactly what we see whenever...
No, it doesn't. That would be saying it's reality. What we see is reality. This is a model. Reification times 2. It seems we can't move on. You're too stupid to understand what's been explained to you, and you're going to reassert it, having not acknowledged it, not conceded, and either not understood or are too snivelling and weaselly to concede the same reification you've just used twice. No, it's not what we see. We don't see what's in stellarium. That's reality. What I see with my eyeballs is reality. That's not stellarium, you complete mong.
Let me know when you're done. Are you done?
You cannot see with your eyes that which is represented in stellarium. It's not reality. Model, useless.
I'm guessing he's done, guys. I'm guessing he's done. Anyway, I'm going to speak for just a moment. It's been 5 years and you guys can't even reify the flat earth dome.
Same old shitty straw man. Claims I'm using straw men. No. Still weasel position that you've reified this stellarium model into the ground beneath our feet. Then said it's what we can see. Times 2. Reification, moron. Not what I do, what you have done. You're still in the same spot. Being a weasel, having your toes burnt like a snivelling weasel. Well, I'll stay here indefinitely, mate. No worries.
You guys can't reify the flat.
Not what we've reified. How many fucking times? You reified stellarium. Hello?
You guys can't do that, right?
You've reified stellarium, snivelling weasel. Can't you ever address your own logical fallacy? Is it non-stop rumpusing and ignorance?
It's okay. Invoker just doesn't know the first step of the scientific method. Leave him alone.
Oh, yeah. Observe a phenomena.
Okay, and guess what? We don't see ourselves spinning. Yeah, good one.
You don't see yourself spinning? Okay.
We don't see ourselves spinning. That's the natural phenomena. Good job.
Continue to talk. Go ahead. Okay, so anyway, if it's a heliocentric or geocentric sphere, it's still a sphere.
spinning.
So geocentric isn't sphere or isn't spinning, correct? Geocentric.
No, these models.
Do you know what that means?
It means we don't live
Cowboy?
on these models. That's what it means. We don't live on any of these models either.
There was a cowboy talking. I'm just wondering, does he know that geocentric doesn't mean that we're spinning?
Do you know we don't live on a model? This geocentric or heliocentric spinning or non-spinning sphere are models that we don't live on. That's a reification fallacy times 3. Are you so stupid that having had it explained more than 7 times that you're going to ask a question that revolves around you reifying a geocentric or heliocentric model? You complete clown!
This
Is flat Earth a model or no?
Minecraft
What?
that he
Sorry,
thinks
no.
he's
No,
inside Minecraft.
the nature of the reality we are faced with and the aspect of geometry that is its flatness is definitely not a model. The Earth's obviously and observably flat. I can make that statement without using any reified models like the geocentric or heliocentric model that you're about to reify with the cowboy you want to argue with. Yeah, you're going to reify another model, you complete moron. Don't you understand? Too slow to understand what's been explained 8 times to you. You're just thick, Tim.
So you guys don't have a model.
Thick as 2 short shites. How many times do I have to explain a reification fallacy to you? You're just going to go straight to a geocentric model, are you? Moron. Straight to the models, moron. Moron. You're going to go straight to a new model, moron. Heliocentric or geocentric model, you moron. That's you, Tim, the moron.
For 5 years
models.
and you guys have nothing still.
You're going to go straight to another model, you
guys,
moron.
I can try to help you.
Models. Hello, reification fallacies. That's what you're guilty of over and over again. Dumbo. That's you, Tim.
Sorry, guys,
Thick.
5 years and you have nothing still. Do you guys need help?
Sorry, you've given us nothing but reification fallacies. Sorry, do you think you've come here from a position of power with your reified models over and over again?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. 5 years and no evidence for this freaking globe you think you live on.
Yeah, you've given it's 5 years and he's given us nothing, Chocolate? 5 years of absolute nothing but fallacy. What do you think you're in a position of power having asserted the same fallacy 4 times?
Yeah, you guys have nothing after 5 years, I agree.
No. You've come with nothing. We haven't offered anything because we're not offering anything. You're offering star rotation and reified models. No acknowledgement of your guilt of fallacy. Just the same fallacy. Do you think that's giving us evidence of a globe? You moron.
Oh, thank you for offering nothing. I appreciate that.
You've offered nothing here, Tim. You've offered nothing but fallacy, something you can't acknowledge, and are now claiming we've offered nothing. No, you've tried to offer something, a fallacy.
Okay, a fallacy is better than nothing, as you...
No, it isn't! Fallacious reasoning proves nothing. Your argument's instantaneously bunk if it uses a fallacy. You moron! You think that a fallacy is a good argument? That is the most stupid thing you've ever asserted here.
The fallacy is a thing as well. Which
God.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead, Chocolate. Thank you so much. Nathan just admitted that you guys
What
have
is a
nothing
fallacy? What is a fallacy? And who invoked it? Invoker.
Hey, there is an internet, and you can go check it out yourself if you don't know.
Oh, you know what fallacy that is?
Burden of proof reversal fallacy, that's called.
Been hurling. Sure.
Sure. Hey, let's get back. Where is your girlfriend still there?
You seem to be really corny. I can't believe any girl would date you, bro. You're like a freaking cornball.
Put your girlfriend on here.
hell's
Let's
wrong
see
with
if
you?
she knows what directions are.
Hey, babe. Quantum Eraser wants to talk to you. Come here.
Yeah, I want to talk to her.
He's a fundy Christian flat Earth domer. He has no evidence for what he believes in. Come here real quick.
Hey, when you go outside, do you
Hold on a
experience-
second.
When you go
Hold on
outside,
a second.
do you experience ball? Or
Here
do you
you
experience
go,
flat?
Quantum. Here's my girlfriend. She knows that you're a funny Christian domer.
Oh,
Go
and
ahead.
does she know you're a fundy materialist?
Go ahead, ask her a question. She's here.
I will ask her a question. Love. Are counterclockwise, hello, is counterclockwise and clockwise actual directions?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is that a question?
Yes.
No, he's an idiot.
Yes, your boyfriend thinks counterclockwise and clockwise are actual directions.
question is that? We're dummies.
Well,
he's
your boyfriend's a dummy. He thinks counterclockwise and clockwise are directions. You said they weren't.
Thank you so much. That was great, guys. So Nathan said that
it
he
was
has
great.
no
Thank
wanna
you
hear
so
more from
much.
her.
Corner Racer thinks that all the stars rise in the east and the west. This is great, guys.
Can we hear
Thank you
more from
so
her?
much for all this content. This is great.
Can we hear more from her, please? She sounds lovely.
It's not like she has green hair.
Great show, guys. I think I'm going to do something better like rap presents at the moment. Thank you so much.
Have a
for
lovely
actually
Christmas. Thank you for
conversating.
joining us, Tim. I
Thanks,
really appreciate
guys.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was fun.
Can I say something?
Go ahead. Whoever's rattling,
I've
can you
never
stop?
I've never witnessed before a globehead to commit a ritual suicide, but now I've seen.
The best part was when his girlfriend debunked his original assertion. That was priceless.
Yeah.
That was his sister, guaranteed.
No, let's not add on the crap out of it. No need. Funny though that was. I'm sure she's very nice.
But is this the level of globe debaters that we have left
Yes.
after all
Yeah.
these years?
Yes.
That's pretty sad. I mean, he sounds almost, I have to say it, but he sounds almost mentally deranged trying to, I mean, most of the world has moved on. It's just all these people left trying to hold on to the globe. I mean, most of the people moved on as in like, they've just gone back into the matrix, but these guys still hanging around and saying after 5 years, I don't know, they're not. This is
Well-
endgame.
Well, he went on moot.
Yeah,
That
I
might
don't
be-
know.
I have a
Sounded
question
pretty
about
deranged
Solarium.
there.
Yeah.
Was it?
If you can finish off Earth-Shaped Investigator, then I've got a point about Moot, and then Paul. Go ahead, Earth-Shaped Investigator.
Yeah, I mean, you know, at this point in the game, it's just that the people that are still wanting to argue for this are going to be like of that caliber and of that attitude. So, not looking forward to it. That's all I was going to say.
Tim's not that bad. He's actually matured, albeit mildly, and he's not the worst person to have these discussions with, believe it or not, as terrible as that sounded.
That scares me.
Isn't that the truth? But yeah, there are far worse people to have these conversations with than Tim Osman, as much as I hate to say that. So, that being said...
What do you consider worse?
Shit sandwich time. So, the reason we say we're on Moot was because that was a misapprehension on Tim Osman's part. Maybe you can give some detail to that quantum eraser if you're around.
He's on moot.
Lost one. This is lost two. You lost three over. Paul, go ahead.
If he's lost, can I ask my question?
Of course you can. Go ahead.
Okay, Stellarium. It's obviously supposed to be some kind of representation of what we see in the sky, supposedly. Now, observation, there's a lot of factors in observation as this show is represented. Does that software, does it account for any form of refraction, diffusion, magnification? And also, don't you have to, if it's going to represent so-called what we see in the sky, you have to also know the distances to those objects that you're viewing, right? Am I understanding that correctly? So there's a lot of problems with using Stellarium as a model, even if it is so-called representation of what we see. Am I getting that right?
Yeah, you've got star charts that have been done flat for a very long time. But ultimately speaking, their model is based on the R value and wrapping things around a spherical point of view. So whether or not it includes refraction is kind of irrelevant. It's still just a model, a representation that we are not experiencing in actualization.
Well, the few times I have used Stellarium, like you can use it on your phone and you can kind of try to match up what you see. Even if I'm viewing it and using my phone as if I view it, it never really truly fully matches 100%. So even their own model is not perfect to what we see, from what I can tell so far.
The model. It's the calm after the storm, is it?
Yeah, just sort of reflecting like everyone past several months on the globe side and on the flat side, bringing up, yeah, it's been 5 years, it's been 5 years. And, yeah, it really has been this time. And as we approach the end of the year to reflect on, yeah, where we're at, you think about.
I don't know, all I say is massive progression from where I'm sitting. The point where we've gone from the whole body of science proves we're on a sphere to whole body of science is another way of saying pseudoscience. Pseudoscience doesn't prove anything. Scientific empiricism is on our side. The Earth is obviously and observably flat. It's a fairly concise statement that summarises the last 5 years of progression from science, not meaning science, meaning pseudoscience, proving Earth is a sphere, to the absolute demolition of the hijacking of perspective and the obvious and observable nature of the reality we actually face. Shout out to Julia Pabon, who says, Tim Osman, 2019, a fallacy is better than nothing. Interpretation, a lie is better than no proof. That's a great quote. A fallacy is better than nothing. Priceless.
Well, a lot has happened in 5 years.
Yeah,
We have George Musser to thank. Gravity is not a force, but you can think of it as a force. I'd say a lot of things have happened.
Well, in 5 years, we've gone to science
I agree,
proves
yeah.
everything to science doesn't prove anything.
That's true as well.
Yeah, but when they say
Good one.
science, they mean pseudoscience. Just got to make that clear. Science
Correct,
definitely proves
100%.
things. Their science isn't science, it's pseudoscience. That's why they can declare that it doesn't prove anything.
That was just me quoting them.
Yeah.
5 years ago, it's science, it's proven. Today, science doesn't prove anything, man. It just insinuates.
Let's have a moment
so
of
much
silence. Go
Sorry.
get regards.
1 second. Beyonder, did you want to add something?
I was just going to say so much of science is a procedure based off of certain principles. And it looks like when you look at the principles that they use to arrive at the Earth being round, they're so tendentious, so specious. How are you going
That's
to
not
do
science.
things like- yeah.
That's not science.
Yeah. But it looks like the science so-called has been put in such narrow parameters, they can't do real science anymore.
Yes, they can. Scientists do science. Pseudoscience does pseudoscience. Yeah. What are you talking about? Be specific.
The Copernican principle.
That's not science.
That appears to be the principle that they do their quote-unquote science
That's
from.
not
It's
science,
science
though.
as long as you stand in that principle.
That's not science, though.
Beyonder, or Lemonbird, to stop the constant interruption from Quantum Eraser, the only way you're going to stop that is by either using the word pseudoscience in substitution of what they call science, or continually say words like what they call science, or as you phrased it, science so-called. That way you'll avoid constant interruption.
It is pseudoscience, though.
Perfect. I like you a lot.
I don't.
Oh.
The thing is
Oh God. Oh God.
the thing is that, yeah, what's happened in the past 5 years is that the globe side has had to backpedal so much. But keep in mind, though, that for the average so-called normie, all they had to do was just feed them enough for the normie to say, okay, it's a globe, I'll go back to it. So that it's kind of like a double-edged sword that, yes, the people arguing had to backpedal a lot, but for the average normie, they just got fed enough nonsense to go back to the lie. So, although, people are still waking up, so it's just double-edged sword.
Shout out to Unitok Svemu, who says, Tim, come back. You left Gravity in Discord.
Oh my God.
How sad is your life that you got a girl at home and you coming on here
Oh my God.
to mess with flat earthers?
Well,
Must be real bored, or she's not very exciting. One of the two, or something. I'm not sure
Yeah,
how that works.
That was part of his seduction. Watch me bully flat earthers. Watch this. I'm super sexy.
I'm a real man, babe.
Watch me argue with guys
he
on
did
the
try to make
internet.
the point.
I'm a man. Let me show you.
Watch me come up with
Yeah, and that was the
fallacies.
system.
Watch me come up with fallacies and not admit them.
Well, your wife may be hot, but she may or may not be able to give you, hot, steaming scientific.
I'll have you know, my
No.
wife has me
Only you
breathing
can
with
put it in
science.
such a way.
Oh, Nox Fairy, is it?
Thanks.
Go ahead.
Sorry?
You were on server mute. If
I
you
was just
leave and
saying
come back.
it is funny.
Go ahead.
Okay, sorry, I was just saying how it is funny how you can use actual science to actually prove the pseudoscience that they do preach and use. You can actually use real science to prove that. There's a cause as to why they do it. Because if they use real science, it would fail. They can't use real science to prove anything that they claim because it always fails for them.
Yeah, spot on. That's where we're using exactly that to win our arguments with them, by setting down the actual standards of science and then putting what they claim through that method. And it never, ever succeeds.
Yeah, shout out to John
once you go
Thor
flat,
and
you don't go
that
back.
clip that he cut out from the show.
We missed that shout out. It may need retracting, so best you repeat it.
Shout out to John Thor and the clip that he cut out from the Flat Earth debate show with you, Nathan, explaining how science is on Flat Earth side.
Yeah, shout out to John Thor. Subscribe today.
I think you should have that link underneath every video. That's so good of you.
Yeah,
Probably
Reification, I don't think I've seen it.
It's something we talk about on the show every day. I mean, you could take a trimmed out clip from probably this show saying the same exact thing.
No, I think that's your top number one summary.
Hey, did you shameless plug the next Ballbusters on 28 December?
I did.
With Taboo Conspiracy.
I did it on yesterday's show for those not watching live.
Can you do it again? 28 December?
I can. You came up in comparison. So we were talking about Ben because originally it was Eric Debay we were talking about and saying, look, we could easily criticise, but you just don't watch if you criticise. Whereas with someone like Ben, undoubtedly on the 27th of December 2019, Quantum Eraser Channel.
28!
Did you say 28th? I thought it was 27th. Oh, okay. Nevertheless, Saturday, 28th of December 2019, Ballbusters on the Quantum Eraser Channel, Be Here or Be Sphere. We will have Ben, who has the YouTube channel Taboo Conspiracy 2. So subscribe today to Ben, check him out. He's ace. But he'll be discussing, I think he's discussing his Dallas presentation with us. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
Excellent. So, Ballbusters on the Quantum Eraser Channel. Be Here or Be Sphere, Saturday the 28th, 7 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. Central Standard, 1 p.m. Slick, very slick.
Yeah, Taboo's ace, man. He's got some great material. I'm so impressed.
He's got a little skit where he's got these submarine torpedo operators looking through a periscope. And they're looking at boats and they go, one says to the other, ooh, that one's about 13 miles away. At least half of that boat's looming up from beyond the curve. We can't possibly shoot at that one. Well, what about that one? Oh, but that's definitely all looming. That's an entire mirage. That's at least 20 miles away. What about this one? Well, that's probably about 6 miles away. I'm pretty sure that's not in any way a holographic projection. Yeah, we can shoot at that one.
Yeah, I have seen that. I can't remember where I've seen it, but I've seen that.
That's Taboo Conspiracy. That's Ben. So shout out, another shout out
yeah.
to Julia Pabon. Tim's Girlfriend 2019. Oh my god. Like, what kind of question is that? Oh my god. Thank you very much for the super chat. Also, shout out to Awaken Narrative. Let's just see if I can find... Oh no, it's below the bit. Hold on a second, Awaken Narrative. I'll find you in my larger font screen. Read out your super chat. Here we go. I like the battle between flat versus globe to the story of David versus Goliath. Oh, I liken the battle of flat... I'll start that again. I liken the battle between flat versus globe to the story of David versus Goliath. Truth wins, and wins rapidly. Time to knock these botches out. Who's ready? Thank you very much indeed for the super chat. Shout out to Awaken Narrative.
Hey, Ben, Taboo Conspiracy has got some great material on how far you should see from sea level, right? Or 6 foot tall, right? And their calculator says at 6 feet, you should only see what? 2 or 3 miles from, the begging the question, proof of nothing, perspective denying Earth curve calculator, right? What is that? How far should you see a person standing on the beach, 6 foot elevation? Does anyone know?
Depends on the weather.
I heard 3 miles, something like that.
Yeah, 3 miles. Ben has tons of material showing that it's 10 times that amount that you can see. So, I mean, he gets down to the nitty gritty. He doesn't play any games. He's ace, man. If you're not subscribed to his channel, what are you doing?
It's going to be a painful show for me, this Ballbusters.
Yeah, I'll definitely check him out.
I can sense tension in this Ballbusters. So, sorry. What we should see, did you say?
Sorry,
come on,
Amity.
Dave.
Yes.
Sorry. So what's telling us what we should see exactly? What's dictating what my eyeballs take in this instance? According to what you did mention, according to some calculator. So
Yeah, I was going by globe science.
Does this calculator dictate what we... Hold on, mate. I'm really trying to make a point. This is why it's going to be painful on Globebusters, because this is going to happen a lot. I can sense it. So what we should see, Quantum Eraser, would be dictated by what?
The Earth curve calculator?
You're going to choke him. I'm going to kill him.
Or eyes.
God damn it, he's doing it deliberately. With that, I'm going to say, if you're watching this on the Nathan Oakley 1980 premiering stream, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow, hopefully without me strangling Quantum Eraser. So stay tuned if you're watching on Nathan Oakley 1980. A massive, huge, enormous thank you to both Discord and G Plus panels for making this live show possible. If you're watching this live on Nathan Oakley channel, then unfortunately this is where we bid you farewell. A huge, massive, enormous thank you for smashing the super chat, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and all that good stuff. Be sure to check out nathanoakley.com and the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community debate. I've been Nathan Oakley. Stay tuned if you're watching on Nathan Oakley 1980 once again, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!